Welcome to Goshen Prepping. Thanks for joining us. I worry about all kinds of things, especially being the host of this channel. But one of the things that really concerns me is all the stuff happening between Russia and Ukraine and NATO, China and Taiwan, and the direction it seems to be heading. It seems to be getting worse and worse by the day. And it seems to be a lot of people are taking their eyes off of it. And honestly, as preppers, that's the first place we should be watching concerning possibly, I'm even going to say probably, World War III kicking in. I want to show you a couple articles. I don't know if you saw this. Poland sends attack helicopters to its border as extremely dangerous situation ignites. Poland sent attack helicopters in full alert to the Belarus border in case of a possible border intrusion after the Wagner Group mercenaries stationed on the border of Poland are creating an extremely dangerous situation on NATO's eastern flank. And if you're not familiar with the Wagner Group, they're highly trained, a private army of mercenaries at their disposal. 100 mercenaries have massed at the Polish border, where the group is extremely dangerous, and the units of this group are deployed to NATO's eastern flank with a purpose to destabilize it. And just in case, Polish helicopters have been moved to the area, ready for an immediate response. And a couple more articles. RAF pilots intercept dozens of Russian aircraft. One RAF pilot intercepted 50 Russian aircraft during a 4-month mission in the Baltic. In one 20-day period, British pilots intercepted 21 aircraft, including intelligence gathering planes and long-range bombers. And where we've always seen pretty much Russian aircraft pushing borders, it has drastically intensified. Again, another red flag of things are escalating. But even while this happens, Putin faces a second rebellion of dissatisfied Russians marching on Moscow. With grim predictions, it's not far off. The current situation for the Kremlin is such that the unrealized desire for a second offensive on Kiev will be overshadowed by the urgent need to prepare and meet for a second march on Moscow. So ultimately, as this war rages on, we're seeing a lot of problems in Russia itself where the people are starting to stand up. And a lot of people are talking about a revolution, a coup, trying to take Russia apart as it seems. But we also need to talk about China. This is interesting for Bazinga. Wall Street will collapse if China-Taiwan war breaks out, says a key Apple supplier. It may only take 10 seconds, not an hour. Founder of Apple's lead supplier, Foxconn Technology Group, they warn of a potential crash of U.S. stocks if a war involving Taiwan occurs, stating it could take as little as 10 seconds for Wall Street to collapse in the event of this conflict. It may only take 10 seconds, not an hour or a month, for Wall Street stock market to collapse if war breaks out in the Taiwan Strait. And this is very interesting. While Taiwan might withstand a Chinese invasion, possibly up to 3 months, however, the impact of a war on the global economy would be enormous and immediate. And of course, his comments come amid escalating tensions between China and the U.S. over Taiwan and other issues. Many other issues, including Chinese nationals coming across the border in the United States, cyber warfare raging on. The list goes on and on. For me and my family, we just prepare and do what we can to try to put things away. And of course, I would recommend you do the same thing too. I really want to hear your comments on this though, because when we see World War III literally heading in that direction, we're heading in the direction of World War III, we have to be ready for this because it will not be like any other war. At least when we talked about World War II, people joined together. However, unfortunately, like we see, if things do erupt even more between Russia and Ukraine and NATO, or between China and Taiwan and our market crashing, this is going to be a war that's going to be like nothing we've experienced before. There is no better time than right now to prep and prepare for this because it seems to be, looking all over in the news, bad times are coming.